Okay, so it's 3:25. I think I've been up 25 minutes. I feel way better though. What helps me is sleeping. Man, I just felt like I just need sleep. I just need sleep. And then I'm feeling so shitty, and then every single thing the dogs asked me to do, it's like, oh my God. So I went back to sleep yesterday in the morning for a while. I don't know how long, but it was long enough that I felt really good when I woke up. And then we went to the park, and we went to Silver Lake. So I went to go get water, and then went up to Silver Lake to walk around. And I kept trying to think of like, well, what part will we go to and stuff. And I decided, well, we'll go to the lake. Stella loves to go to the lake. Surely because it's so freaking cold that they don't have the algae problem in the water. Surely it's just a summertime problem. And so we went down there. The water is so rised. There's a bridge that crosses it. It's up to the bridge, and it's a walking bridge on two sides of this little Silver Lake Island thing. And it's the coolest thing. If you looked it up, it's this cool ass camping place. It's got cabins, it's got all this camp place. It's really cool. But it's got this lake, but it's not a motorboat lake. It's well, you can have fishing boats on there, but it's mostly like paddle boards and stuff. And then there's a beach. Well, the beach isn't there because the water is up all the way. There was geese, and the geese kept going and getting in the water when we would come around. Stella, of course, was running up, wants to get right in the water. She got so excited. And I started drinking it right away. And then I see the sign, and the sign's still up. I don't know if it was up all from the last time I went, and it's been up this whole time, or they put it up again. But that's why I don't go, is because she loves to go in it and drink it. And it has a sign up that says it's got some kind of some algae thing in it or something, and I'm pretty sure it's the blue algae thing is what causes the neurotoxicity in dogs that kills them. And so so I try to go away from the lake to go walk. So we went out walking towards the picnic area and the camp spots. So we went back walking in this part that I don't even know. I guess it's around because there's like this lake split in half, like there's a road. And this, oh man, it's like kind of stinky. This little road over here is, this side of the lake over here is where the people fish all the time. And so maybe it goes out further. I don't know how far that it goes because I don't normally walk around this way. And it's, when you're back in the woods, I don't know, it's hard to be able to tell. And so I was walking along, and when I would look over, like there'd be like a little hill thing and a bunch of stuff. But it seemed like that the lake was right close to us, but not so close that we were walking like what you would think was on a beach or something. Like it was way, way over here, and we were way over there, and it was a swamp. It's just a swamp. And there's so much water. I was like, and I don't know where any dam is from there. I just saw a girl last night before I went to bed. I saw a girl in let me think where she was, because it was strange. I don't remember if it was Arkansas, because Arkansas keeps getting in. I think they're going to hit Arkansas. I think they're trying to hit it. Like a big storm thing came through last night. And I don't know. I wasn't seeing. I just looked at like 5 or 6 videos real quick before I started this. But I already had a bunch of stuff I was going to talk about. So but so I don't know if they're already showing damage from that or what happened. Imagine when they're having this big tornado swarm, though, coming, that they're gonna wipe some little places out. And they always, go, like, I remember from the time I was a kid, them wiping out whole trailer parks and stuff. Like, at the time, you just think, oh my God, that's so sad. I wish they would have had houses. Maybe if they would have bigger houses that wouldn't have blown apart, you think of it different. Now I look at it as like, they've been fucking attacking us for so fucking long. In Florida, no, in North Carolina, no. They made it where, I think in Florida too. For sure it started somewhere, but now I'm getting confused between North Carolina and Florida. But in the Helene zone. So places that were wiped out by that storm. And then in North Carolina, I think both, but whatever, you have to look it up. That they are putting a whole bunch of restrictions. Like people are trying to put up tiny house shed things to try and live in, and while they rebuild and stuff, which people have got to stop with this rebuilding. People have got to. It's really sad to me to watch this like over and over. People they're just not in sync with the planet. And it's so weird right now. Everything is so weird. I just don't know how people can do it. Like without, like, it's weird. Like if you have no spiritual concept, maybe it's easier. Maybe that's my problem, is I understand what's going on. I don't know. But it's fucking, Jesus Christ, I cannot believe the fucking dark energy attacks, man. That is one thing that's really frustrating me too. It's like every motherfucking thing. Yesterday, I get out my jar of ginger slices, and something starts falling. I grab that. Something else falls, hits that, smashes this giant fucking jar, goes flying glass everywhere. All my ginger it's just like, oh my motherfucking, I just can't even fucking, it is like, I just can't even, I'm so frustrated with that, this energy that is like, I don't understand, how it just is, especially when you do all this healing, and you're putting out good energy and stuff, then you think, well, why is all the good energy? But it's the dark energy that's trying to cause problems. I think it's trying to cause problems for, I don't know, is to keep us from being able to bring in a wave of light or something. So it's like, I don't know, it's like a total attack on us or something. So anyways, that is frustrating. And then kicking our ass with the health stuff, Stella went out to get a drink, and then when I opened the door, because Max had already come in, and I opened the door, and she's just sitting there, and she's doing something I never have seen her do before. It really made my heart sink. And she was sitting on the porch, and she wasn't laying down or anything. She was just going. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, what the fuck? God, these fucking, man, they poison and shit. And it can very well be mildew and mold and all that shit, because everything's so fucking wet. It's so fucking wet. So over there where they're trying to put up like tiny houses and shit, the government is saying, no, you're not allowed. They're putting all these restrictions on the people of what they can put on the land, their own land. And this is though, this is the thing, is like people think, oh, they're just now doing this. No, they've been doing this for so long, trying to restrict us over what we can do and what we can build and stuff. And then they let these builders get away with all sorts of stuff. I've seen so many inspectors talking about the bullshit with the builders. It's fucking the most corrupt motherfucking system. The developers are a huge part of it. Construction guys are just trying to work. I don't think they're getting some big thing. Developers, county officials, the people who make up and decide like where roads are going to go, where we're going to put this neighborhood, that neighborhood. And they're building neighborhoods on top of fucking cemeteries, on top of places that they destroyed a whole bunch of other people. That could be the hauntings that I'm always fucking seeing around here, is they killed 30,000 people out here, and they're all wandering around like, where the hell is going on out here? Like, so, I totally could be. Why it seems like there's so fucking many, like, it's this other realm, but that's the thing, is those little holes, those little wormholes into other realms. It's the frequency, the movement. So anyways, there's spaces where it's not as defined. And so anyways, so they've been doing this for a long time. These people are just rotten people, and are just evil. They live off of this dark stuff. They live off of watching people struggle. They live off of patting their pockets and feeling like they're above us all in this hierarchy. Thing is that they can't go above the next plane. They are just used because it is like a pyramid system with the people at the top, like I said before, and then you have this other section, but we're the section that's holding it all up. We're down here, we're holding it all up, and this is all the stuff above us that we don't know. At the middle section, they still don't reach the top section. They're still just the instigators, the doers, the knee breakers, the ones that are here to cause us problems and stuff. So they're just this level. They're still the top. It looks down on them like they are just scum. Like they don't look at them like, oh, these are good people. No, these are kind of, when they would look at us as humans, this is how I see it. When they look at us as humans, they think that we are strange and they don't understand. And they don't understand like how we can get, and I'm not talking about all the fucking aliens. I'm talking about the ones who are here in charge, the low vibration ones, the darker energy ones. Because the ones that are the light, the ones that are coming, the ones that are all up in the skies and stuff, that they don't just come and land, is because I'm telling you the vibration is lower. And so as the vibration raises, and it will be easier for them. These people down here, they are low vibration. They are where this energy comes from. And those ones feed off of us. We are of the light. So we are this other energy. We come through this birthing system into these products, these suits, these what do they call them? Containers. So we come into this containment, and then to live, I think it's coming in as a challenge into the different scenarios that are created. And so I look at it as the light coming in. It's like these battle rounds between the dark. Like, you know, I can come in there and I can go through and feel things and live and have experiences and exist in this plane and leave it. The only thing is right now in this experience that we're going through, which I swear to God, it's all a part of it, is all these people who are trapped in this lower state of consciousness, that they are they evolving, but that they it's like they forgot who they are. I think that's what all this awakening is, the remembering, because it's like they've just forgotten. And but so you can fight through this stuff. they're just all lost. And but they look at us like if I would say like the Dracos, or like, I don't even know who all these fucking people are, if they really are a bunch of shapeshifting reptilians or what the fuck. So if they like, 'cause some of them are fucking vampires, but fucking we would look at reptilians and Dracos as vampires too, because they eat people. So it's just like, but look at us, we eat cows. Like, they just eat us. So and they can't really eat us because they can try. That's like another part of the challenge of the game. They're gonna eat your container as you're trying to go through the experience. You gotta be on your toes. So anyways, but they look at us as like they just don't understand us. They don't understand how they can beat us down, and we still have love. We still want to connect. We still want to, but then the ones that they can break that in, it's not like they look at them like, oh, a success. They look at them as like, kind of like they're broken or something. Like they're easy capture. They're easy prey or something. Because of their disconnect from their soul makes them so soulless. They don't really care about other people. They instead get in and they're more driven by material things. And so it's easy to capture them. So anyways, they look at us at like a different kind of level than, well, what you would think. But so so you got all these people and trying to put things on their property and stuff and build, and they're saying, nope, nope, nope. And now they are going and taking people's kids away. They're saying, well, you can't have your kids out here. All the Red Crosses are closing up. They're closing out the shelters. So there was already 3, and the people were freaking out, like, what the fuck is going on? There's thousands of people living in these shelters. They're kicking them out, and they're closing up camps, saying, well, this is no longer needed. We're done here. But this is to show the people, like the organizations are not there for you, but the people have to go through the experience to feel and understand. And it's hard to watch because they're all being so disappointed, and it is at a time of tragedy, but that's when things, that's how it has to go down, because that's how we wake up. So but it's fucking sad and hard to watch. It's hard to just sit there and be like, yes, they're gonna wake up, because they're all just dragging ass, like falling apart. And that one guy who's on there every day, we're starving. Me and my dog are starving. Somebody needs to come and bring us some food and some water. It's like, dude, I'd get my dog and I'd start walking someplace, go someplace where I'd fucking start walking to Texas. Go out there where those people are trying to rebuild Atlantis. Go find some other place where they're trying to build a commune, which the people are like already at that one. I'm already seeing like, okay, it's getting a little wacky. Is now they've got 3 people out there. They're all excited and into it and stuff. The guy who's landed I guess, is apparently super rich, and then Austin, one of the guy, there's a girl and a guy who've come, and I thought they were boyfriend and girlfriend, but now, so he's told Austin he can get a lion. I was like, okay, they're just going to turn this into weirdo land or something. Like, who could come out there? Like, how could you have chickens and all this stuff? You're going to have a lion? Like, so that's why I say there's going to be communities that are going to be popping up. Don't just rush in. Like, that's one thing where I was like watching, like, okay, so this starts developing into something, but it's going in this direction, because there will be all sorts of things. Like, people will gravitate towards each other, and like, maybe they're going to make, where they're going to have lions and stuff. Like, I don't fucking know. But I'm not going to go live somewhere where there's lions. I've got dogs. I'm not going to go, no. I want to go somewhere that's dog friendly. And then I want chickens. I want, and those other animals and stuff. Like, I want a little miniature farm. I want a little piece of the world of like living just natural. And so, and it's way better than living like, even here where I live rural. It still is like I'm in a neighborhood, and I still would prefer to be like the farmer lady, which I think she's moved away. Somebody else has moved in their house. But the farmer lady who had that little house, I was going to get the eggs, and then a whole weird thing happened where she was like, I don't know. I just see so many weird sides of people who claim to be Christian. They're so, I've talked about it before, and I'm gonna go over it again. But anyways, like, her little place, like, it was like so perfect. 5 acres, have a house, a barn, some other little outbuildings. Like, and there's there's 2 really on the way to Silver Lake. Oh my God, they're so cool. One of them has this big ass barn. Oh my gosh, I'm always looking at those places like, God, that is my dream right there. And big art studio in there, and then having some little animals and stuff, and then a house and whatever. But the barn at this one is just like, oh my God, I love that barn. And it's all wood. It's so cool looking. And it's big. But anyways, so now these organizations are coming in, and people are saying they're actually taking people's kids. They're not just threatening, they're taking people's kids, saying you can't provide for them. So they're kicking them out of the shelters, where people are saying it's thousands of people now they've kicked out and have closed up shop. And somebody was going around and seeing that they were closing them all different. And who knows if that's going to be where they're going to start opening up these camps. But see, those camps could totally be what these other people are saying is just these lithium mining camps. So it's, they got a lot. These people who are trying to run us have got a lot going on. And, oh, yeah, and also, there's more with the mud thing. So there's more people dying. There's with this mud. It's eating through their clothing and shoes and stuff like that. And somebody was asking this woman, like, well, why do you think the mud got so toxic? And she said, well, we had some mines. We had the biggest quartz mine that was down this in this area, and it was the biggest one around, or something like that. And she said they're thinking maybe when the water came that it flooded all throughout that. And she said that they're thinking maybe that they had a lot of chemicals or something, and that's what caused it. So people who are around the area are trying to figure it out, but it's killing people. And then I don't know if they want to just hurry up and go in there. The ones in charge want to hurry up and go in there and try and uh, they just want the resources. They just want to strip the land, and they're very driven to do that. It's almost like it's this is what's been going on for the planet for a long time. That's why the things are changing, is because of this just stripping her of all her resources for so long. Because that's all the way back to the Sumerian tablets. That's what all these different ones were coming. All these different beings were coming, and then some of them had battles and stuff here, and there's been a lot of warring around her and stuff. And so, you know, her time of being belittled and bashed on is up. Now she gets to, you know, go and live in the heavens and heaven on earth energy out of this darkness that she came. She came from the darkness, but she didn't let the darkness take her. That's kind of like all of our stories. It's this micro, macro. But anyway, so they're taking the people's kids because that is the biggest thing with this motherfucking Red Cross, is once you start finding out about it, it's like that's the last people you want to come see come into any place as a disaster zone. They're just there to pick up the orphans. That's all they're doing. It's just, you know, they don't want to miss out on the money. So, you know, people have got to start questioning, like, where do they think insurance money is coming from? Like, insurance has refused now 77% of the people to rebuild their homes. Well, I have been saying that for years, that this was coming. It's weird, though, you know, because I can't say it to any of them. So they're all expecting it, and they're all trying to get the money and stuff, and it's not going through. It's not going through. Jesus Christ, they wouldn't fix my fucking bathroom. That was a goddamn bathroom. It wasn't even a whole fucking house. The insurance said no. And they show over and over and again that they are not there for us. And then it's like, well, where do we think that they're getting the money? Because it's, you know, it's absurd that we all think. And then especially when they're in a zone where all these houses are gone, and then people think like, oh yeah, insurance is going to rush in and save us all. No, it's not. It's not at all. This is a time when we get to see there isn't some organization out there that's there to help us. They're there to take advantage of us. They're there to use us. They're not there to help us in any way, shape, or form. And but there's lots of people who have to learn that. And, you know, and that's a different angle to learn it from, in a stage of necessity, to have them kick you, you know, kick dirt in your face and say, fuck off. And then you got the government knocking at your door. We're taking your kids. Like, it's all together. They all work together. It's all it's a front. Swear to God, they're all just sitting at the same table having drinks. So so we have all of that stuff going on, and there's still towns are completely wiped out. They're completely gone, which is so absurd. Like, how to say that there's gonna be VOTE, but that's already going. But then they've caused this big ruckus. Like, this is where, okay, so there was the comedian guy who went on to the stage, which JD and Donald are both saying, like, well, I don't know, you know, his content or whatever. So they're both just like, you know, it's a comedian. We're not going in and saying, here, tell us what you're going to say. So it's like, you know, it gets to be, it's freedom of speech, dude. He gets to say what he wants to say. And which, ironically, there was one, I guess, her rally who came out and said some really inappropriate things. If you're going to go that, I don't remember what his was. It was, oh, he said all Mexicans are thieves and murderers or something like that. And so now people are comparing the two. Oh, so this guy says that Puerto Rico is an island of trash in the ocean, and then everybody's freaking out. And then, and everybody's noticed too, it was within 12 hours, Kamala had this whole fucking thing going. And it was like, it was all set up. They already knew. It's like they paid the guy to say it or something. Because then she came into the rescue. We're there for the Puerto Ricans. But it was, all this was done before. It may have been 2 hours after the thing. It was something ridiculous where the people who were watching were like, I can't believe it. This has to be paid and all this stuff. And this is a thing is where people see things from this other view. And I don't know if I can explain it right, but I deal with this all the time. So on this one, I will try and, so, so when I had seen about the comedian thing, I had seen, I don't know, I guess I maybe saw him say that. There's so many people sharing these videos. So the first night, then I saw all these different people, I guess this Twitter, whatever, this account with 43 million people, they said something right away. So it's like this, it's weird, really weird. It is really weird. And so then they start saying how, you know, what a horrible person he is to talk mean about the Puerto Ricans. It's like, I don't think he said anything mean about the Puerto Ricans. I think he said something about their place is full of garbage. And that, I mean, anybody who's been involved in the environmental issues at all, which a lot of us have seen stuff about climate change and stuff, and we know that there is literally an island of garbage out there floating. And that is, you know, how the earth is treated. Like, whose garbage is this? And so what I have seen, though, since I began paying attention to Donald, is that he is always disclosing. He's always got this way of getting disclosure out there in this real, like, really? Like, I mean, I can't even tell you how many times he had those little fucking fraud on stage and all these different ones, especially the fraudster. And he was constantly, so you're sure about that? You're saying for sure that, yeah, oh, yes. And it was like such a setup. Like, you could see it. It was like, you could totally tell. It was like getting them all on tape saying certain things. And I saw that crystal clear. I was like, ooh, this is some good motion right here. So, but I also saw these people are lying to this guy. And how is he going to go against all their lies and tell us that they're liars? So that's why he said, you got to see it. I can't tell you. You have to see it for yourself. So that's what we've been playing out the last 4 years, is seeing it for ourselves. But it was there the whole time. And so on this one, when I saw that, it was like, okay, so they're exposing something, because this is how it goes. So they're exposing some kind of criminal thing about this. And then I had seen a woman come on, and she thought it was funny. She said, I'm Puerto Rican, and all my family still lives there, so I go there all the time. And I grew up there, but she said, you know, what that comedian was saying was true. So it was funny. We were laughing because, yeah, it's true. We got so much garbage here. And she said that they've got some issues with garbage. They've got an issue with the government not taking care of the garbage. It's a whole thing. They say that they don't have the landfill. I don't even know, like, all the thing. When I asked Siri, she said that there's like 23 land. You can ask her. You can look it up for yourself. But the place is overrun with garbage, and the government's not doing anything about it. It's something about recycle. Like, they don't recycle or something. They don't do anything with their garbage. And so, yeah, that something is being exposed. And then the people, it's always this other level. So it's going to go. They're not going to go like, oh, yay. Like this woman seemed to be. You know, like, you know, good. People need to know, like, this is garbage, because the government doesn't do shit with it. And we all have all this goddamn trash everywhere. And but then you got all these other people like, oh, they're trying to say Puerto Ricans are bad. It's like, I didn't hear anything about that. But I heard them say that there's a lot of garbage. There's a big problem with garbage. And I don't look at that as like the people. I look at that as like it's a government problem. So that's what I'm saying. It's all whatever, however you look at things. So all these people are so offended. And that's this big jump. Like, there was some big giant parade now that's all Latin people all going blue. And, oh, yeah, you know, I'm going to go in the comments, and we're so excited, you know, finally. And all these people, it's so weird when you listen to these people saying, even Kamala, it's like, these past 4 years, we're going to move forward with it. It's like, dude, you're acting like it has been Donald in there. It's been you dumbass. It's like, what the fuck, man? I can't even stand to listen because the people cheer. It's like, what in the backwards are you guys? God damn. It just makes me feel like people are so fucking stupid. And then when it starts being, the blue people are so fucking stupid, and it's like, okay, I can't go into this whole fucking thing. But Jesus Christ, come on, people. Like, what the fuck? I know they're heavily programmed, but god damn. Like, how do you not notice this lady? Because God, Jesus, God, she's a lion. So I got the shit. So, yeah, she's so manipulative. God, she just, So, but I know that they all feel like that about Donald. Oh, we're not going to let him get in there, and the dictator taking us over and all this stuff. It's like, he's been out for 4 fucking years. And she's like, the very first thing, and he's going to try and tell we're cheating, and he's going to try and, just like he did last time, we're not putting up with this. Well, those of us who were paying attention, we know you cheated. We don't even know how you got this 4 years, you dumbass. Like, God damn it. See, I get just so pissed. It's like, oh, God. It's like, no, I can't watch. Just fuck. I can't even fucking. It's too fucking bullshit. So, oh yeah, and Crystal was saying about the libertarian, like her husband is one, and they've got a bunch of friends, and they're very, very progressive. And I've seen some talking on TikTok and stuff. They just look normal. I haven't seen any real extreme ones. It's always the blue people that I see that have the crazy hair and crazy glasses and stuff. That I've seen a lot of people that was, oh, I'm a libertarian. I'm what is the libertarian or independent? I'm a libertarian or an independent. Like, nobody wants to be in that side thing because the two sides are so at battle. But one side is it's just crazy because one side is literally taking us towards freedom, and the other side is literally taking us off a cliff. And all they're doing is just talking a bunch of nice words and lying through their teeth, and it's just like, oh my God. And this has got to be part of what is all going to be exposed, is there's so much bullshit with these people. But anyways, so the guy says this thing, and it turns into this big ordeal, which there's no fucking way that anything everything is scripted. So this has got to be all leading into something. But one of the things that I'd seen somebody say too was they never cleaned it up after the hurricane. And I'm pretty sure we'd have to go back and look, because the Haiti one was, our HRC and her hubby, that they were involved with that one. And all of the destruction and everything. And then, America's going to save the day. We're going to raise all this money. We got all these millions of dollars. We're going to go over there. We're going to rebuild. And then they stole all the money. And the Haitian president's been speaking about it. And it's been this whole thing this whole time. And that Haiti has not been cleaned up and everything. But they're going to go in and they're going to put in some orphanages. They're going to put in some schools. They're going to, private schools, though. These kids can come and live these schools because these kids don't have parents and stuff. So they got that, And then Haiti started speaking out about stuff that was going on, but there's nobody listening because the media is, the mouthpiece of the dark side. So, we weren't getting to hear so much about all of the bullshit, but I heard, quite a lot. Like, I knew that there was some issues about the money and the president and the Clintons and all that stuff. Like, I knew all of that. But I don't know that, like, I could say, like, to the depths of it. Like, I couldn't go in and talk to an expert. No, I know what overall. And so apparently I think that is the same thing that happened over there. And it seems like I remember there being a big hurricane and them saying this big thing happened. And I swear to God, that was around the time when all of a sudden they started saying Puerto Rico is an American, it's like it's not a part of America, but it is American or something. Like we could go there with no passport. We could go to Puerto Rico without our passport. This is from what I've understood. And because that was even something with my one son-in-law who is dead now, but he had been in jail. He had a felony, and so they won't won't let him have passports. They won't let him travel. They put all these restrictions. I think that is another part of the absurdity that these other countries are sending their prisoners here, and we can't. Our prisoners have to stay put. We can't send. So there's gonna be so much stuff. Like this whole big shenanigan over people and stuff. There's gonna be so much more to it. It's gonna go into a deeper thing, because I know it's going to be so much more about our freedom and stuff, and that they can't control it. So I don't know how it's all going to lead in, because, I don't know what's in the hearts of all these people. And it seems like all these people still need a lot of overseeing. So, it could be 10 or 15 years of still needing paperwork and stuff. But I think it's going to be quick. I think they're quickly going to start. What was it? It was another thing too. Oh, because it was something about them saying that they were going to be deporting people quickly, but they are going to be, and somebody said something, well, what about their family? If they have family here. And they said, well, they'll deport the whole family. So see, then it's going to go into this, well, they're a citizen. Well, they're not a citizen. So they're linked to these ones, and you know what I'm saying? And it's going to end up just extending out, because it's all is leading to us not us being able to move freely, them not to have so much restrictions, and we're going into this global money, which now the BRICS is 178 out of 195 countries or something have signed on. So it's big, we're close. We're getting closer and closer by the day. And I was even thinking, okay, so Joe hasn't destroyed the economy in this period of time. Well, he's destroyed it, but it isn't. So maybe the transition is going to be different. Maybe it's going to be, Donald's just going to come in and say, hey, by the way, we're not using this anymore. We're on BRICS, so just say bye to your dollars. And I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go. Everything is just so close. We're so close to all this stuff. But it's like, the breakthrough, I don't know what we're breaking through, what we're going to do. There's more going on with the missiles and stuff. We're now, North Korea is on the side of Russia against the Ukraine, and so we're the allies to the Ukraine. So anyways, there's all this more of that tension building. There's tons of shooting missiles going all over the place and shit like that. So tons of that stuff going on. And but let me think for a second, because I was keeping pulled back. Okay, so the Puerto Rico. Okay, so oh yeah, because when one of the times when we were talking about doing a trip and wanting to have the son-in-law go, then it was he couldn't go, to places he needed a passport. But so we were looking at that place before, because you don't need one, you can go there. And so I don't know how it's associated with America, but I think it was like our government who was supposed to go in. Probably this is what's going to come out, because whatever it is, it's all about the corruption of the government and how we've affected other countries and stuff, and the corruption of their governments too. That's why all these different governments are going down. That's why you go to all these different countries, people marching around with American flags, because it represents freedom for everybody. And everybody is at the same point with all their governments, because we all have got the same shifty shit. It's all these fucking people who, they all hang out together. They act like they don't get along, but they're all out to destroy us, and equally. And in some of these countries, they've already wrecked them. And that is what, to me, that comedian is trying to point out. They've already turned that into a garbage dump, just out garbage floating in that thing. They take these beautiful places, and they always attack brown people. And it's strange to see these brown people just be like, oh my gosh, you're just saying mean things about us. It's like, no, they're talking about your government and your land, and there's other people saying that that's true. So when you're triggered for your insecurities, thinking that, it's just as strange. It's strange how all these things, play out. But because I was talking to a guy yesterday, and I was saying something about, because it was playing out more yesterday too. I said something in the morning about, oh yeah, as I did some video, and I said, so now I know that Puerto Rico is full of garbage. I didn't know that before. Did anybody else know that before? Something like that. And so there's tons of people. I couldn't even believe the attacks. Oh my God, I couldn't believe it. And it was like immediately. And I was going in and checking, and it seemed like it was mostly bot accounts. So I was like, okay, the bots are really trying to control this conversation. They do not want us to talk about this. And they were going in on me, telling me I was racist and all sorts of stuff. It's like, because it's so weird. And so I was just block. I was blocking, I've been blocking so many people. As I can't even believe it. Like, some of these people, like, it's not just those girls. They were saying this weird shit. Now I'm seeing these guys and seeing like these other people, like, they're worse than Nazis. They're so bad. We gotta keep him out. We can't have another 4 years of him. It's like, we've had 4 years of these other people have destroyed. Like, have you guys? Where have you guys been? Where have you guys been? Like, this is absolute insanity. And so I just block, because I can't stand to listen to this ignorance of these people, of being so, it's weird. It's like they're mental. And so there was oh yeah, because this one guy, I think he follows me normally, and so he starts trying to talk to me like, God, is she sitting there saying that? Like, how rude. And I was like, I don't even remember. But so I'm saying, well, yeah, the garbage, and go look it up. I just like, fuck. People's first thing is to go in and argue with people. They don't even go look at anything. They just go and argue. And then they keep trying to say, like, I'm trying to be mean to the Puerto Ricans or something. I'm ridiculing the Puerto Ricans or whatever. It's like, no, I'm talking about their government isn't cleaning up their garbage. They just keep making garbage dumps and not doing anything with it. They just keep putting garbage dumps. And then they say, well, there's nothing we can do with the garbage. Like, and so, that's not how it should be. Like, we shouldn't have islands of garbage floating. And this all comes from the plastics. It's all this for the petroleum and the plastics and shit. That's the stuff that it's not organic. It doesn't fall apart. And that is, why we got to get back to paper and glass. We got to get back to things that are organic. Plastic is a completely created toxic chemical that they use for everything, and it doesn't melt down. So as I had seen this, and I talked about it a long time ago, and whenever I tell people, they always think I'm just fucking crazy. But I saw this documentary a long while ago, and then I plus had some reference, so I understood what that was being said. And the thing that I had talked about was my number 4. He collected cans. Well, he drank so much, you might as well. I think his wasn't beer. Oh, it was soda, because he drank fucking whiskey. He drank whiskey and Coke all the goddamn time. And so much fucking whiskey and Coke, like, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. And God, that's nasty. I can't even stand the smell of it. That was like my dad. And so he drank all this whiskey and Coke. Let me think what I was talking about it with. Oh yeah, because he saved cans. So then he would save cans, and then he would take them in and get money for the cans. So he had all these cans, and he took them in this one time, and then they refused them. And they said there was this big thing going on, and they explained it and stuff. But so when I was listening, I was hearing, the bullshit behind the recycle and what's going on. And so then when I saw the documentary, so apparently so over here, where in my state, we are supposed to recycle. So you have recycle cans, a recycle truck goes through. And I think that's in most of the blue states. I don't know about the other ones. But so they go around and they pick up your recycle. And so they take what they want is cardboard, glass, plastic, and cans. So you have to put them in these different recycle bins. And I think you can put newspaper, but I don't think anybody reads a newspaper anymore. But unless they read it online or something. So anyways, they got all those things. So what I had understood then is in America, they gather that up and then they sell it to other countries. So there's some countries, because I've seen this clothing designer girl, I think I've seen 2 of them, and they started taking the plastic bottles and tearing them down into thread. So they started taking the plastic and turning it into thread. This one girl, I think she sews the bottles and stuff. So taking these bottles and making them into clothes, so recycling the plastics and stuff. So you have people who are doing that because they're so overrun with it. And so over here on the corrupt part of it, so they go gather up like cans and bottles and cardboard, and then the plastic bottles. And so the other things, you can do something with them. So they could sell a country, that needs cardboard or paper or whatever. They can take it and they can put it through with a machine, tear it all apart, press it back together, and make recycled paper or whatever. So, some of them are like, yeah, we want your cardboard. So we'll take your cardboard. And then some is like, well, we want your cans. We can use them. We melt them down and then we make things with them. So they want the cans. Other ones, they want the bottles, the glass. So it's like, yeah, we'll buy your glass from you. So it's not that they're doing something, they are selling this shit to other countries that don't have it. The thing is that it's like, okay, you want 100,000 tons of glass, we're going to send that over. But in order for you to have that, you have to take 200,000 pounds of plastic. So all these places have been getting these big giant dumps of our plastic bottles. And then in the documentary I saw, this one place, they have to walk through it. And the government's not doing anything. They just want the other stuff. So it's like, well, we don't know what to do with this. Just, because there's nothing you can do with it. You can't burn it. It puts too much toxins into the air. So there's this whole thing. I think probably our solution is probably smashing it and then melting it or something. I don't know. I'm sure there's going to be some great minds that are going to start coming up with stuff. Maybe we're going to start building houses out of it. I don't fucking know. But anyways, right now, so we have all of these places that have to take these plastic bottles or all our plastic things. And think about how many people drink out of the water bottles, all that shit. And then they have to buy that. So then they take those and dump them. So we don't have to deal with all of our garbage. These other smaller countries do. And then they're getting overrun. And so it's all mishandling of garbage, of money, and not giving a shit about us. Like, how toxic is that then to have to live with so much garbage around you? That's diseases and all that. But, they enjoy that. They want us to be sick because they want us to come to their facilities and get their medicine and shit. So they, they want us to be sick. And I'm sure in these other places, but this is why we have so many people who are over here, is like, because a lot of their places, it's all this government does not take care of the people. There's nothing. And then, and I think that there's more places that are overrun with our garbage, that it's not just all their plastic bottles and shit, it's our fucking garbage. And so I think that there's going to be more, that is what, is more about the disclosing. When something is said that it's like, what? Why would somebody say that? It's because it's all about this disclosing, about the shit, the corruption. So I don't know. We'll see how all this stuff keeps playing out. The way she's all jumped on board and is so excited, like she's got all these people, and then she had some rally yesterday. And it trips me out when there keeps being people like going to her rallies, and especially like for her rallies to get any bigger or anything. It's like, what is wrong with people? It is so weird. How can you take someone like that and be supportive? And especially just out of just sheer hate for the other person? Because this person is doing nothing. They're not saying anything. And it's being shown over and over and over. She doesn't say anything. The only thing she can say is like stuff against him. And that's one thing that is waking some people up. They are noticing like, God damn, she doesn't say shit. Only things that are just, well, we're not going to have him in there again. We're going to get rid of him. We'll be done with him. Like, that's what you guys are. Yay! 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 Oh, yeah, and it's Willie now who is gone on her. So Seth and Willie, because like, she's going to make pot legal. Well, so is Donald, so get a new talking point, you dumbass. Like, god damn. I just really, some of these celebrities, like, you fucking sellouts. Like, these garbage people. Like, I'm fucking so fed up with the sellout people. Like, they just take us right off a cliff. And then you have all these people, well, they're doing it. I'm gonna go with them. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ. It's time to start fucking thinking for yourself. The sovereignty is important. And this is nonsense. And the garbage thing is real. And it isn't just this one country. Like, I seriously had no idea until that guy pointed out that this place is full of garbage. And then that is the kind of shit that we do as awakened souls. Need to start paying attention. Like, oh, they just destroyed all these places over here in South and Central America. They fill them with garbage. They don't give them food. They don't give them resources and stuff. They create criminals, and then they send them out over here because this is the time when they're going to do the same thing over here. Is they just want us all to be these criminals, sex addict. This girl. Okay, so I've talked about her before. I've heard about her before, but she's making the news again. And so I heard more about her, and it's like stomach turning, really. Like, I don't want to talk smack on, I don't want to talk smack on anybody, but like, I'm not going to, you got to say, like, if you're going to be a total skank, then, I would think that somebody's going to call you a skank. I guess I'll be the first one to do it. I'm like, no, I think that there's been a whole bunch of people. I'm not the first one, but this is like, So the girl who I'd said was a few weeks ago, and she was all in the news because she slept with like 120 people in one night or something. And I was like, I don't even know all of this story or whatever. So anyways, there's more now. I think the Daily Mail is doing a story about it. So she's a girl, and I think most guys would see her sitting out and they'd be like, oh, well, I'm going to go out with her. And pretty blonde lady, young girl. She's 25, I think. And so she's got a OnlyFans, and that's where she makes all this money. And I think it was the other time when they were talking, it was something about, she's made $1 million a month or something, some outrageous amount of money. So so what she's on the news now about is because her exploiting or taking advantage of young men. And she says, I'm not taking advantage of them. They know exactly what's going on. And this is what's up, man. And so she goes to the school. So when the universities first, all the guys show up, all the kids show up for the first day of school, she goes there. And I guess it's arranged ahead of time. I don't think she just comes out with a sign. I think there's stuff arranged ahead of time. And so, like, I don't know if it's like on Instagram, oh, guess who's going to be there? Hotsy Totsy is going to be there this weekend. Who wants to sign up for time with Hotsy Totsy? And, $500 or whatever the fucking price is for this woman. It's so nasty. I can't even believe it. Like, oh my God, I just think it's disgusting. And so and I'm sure there's sex workers like, oh my God, she's so rude. But there's one thing of doing sex work out of desperation and survival, and then there's another thing about it. And sorry, that's just the way I look at it. And so she signs them up and goes to the thing. And these young guys who, some of them have never been with a woman or whatever, they're all young, guys. So I guess you have to be 18, supposedly. They're all 18. But it's all filmed. And so that's what her thing is. So all these people go on her thing to watch her have, sex with these young guys. It's all filmed. So now people are like, these guys are being exploited, all this stuff. And she's saying they know exactly what's up. They sign up for this shit. Nobody's gonna fucking, and it's like she does 125, 150 of these guys on a weekend. That's why she's making like $1 million at fucking, like, and that's why I say it's fucking skanky, man. It's so fucking skanky. Like, I don't even know the mindset. Like, I don't know. Like, this is kind of like, it gets me to that part where, especially in old movies, like I've seen it in some newer ones, but it may not be as familiar if you haven't seen some older ones. But the difference in old money and new money and the blue bloods, which, we know where that comes from more, I think, is the blue bloods. They're reptilians and stuff, the ones who are really in charge of this place. And who knows how long, people have known, like, how they came up with blue bloods, like. But there's the difference in old money and new money. And so old money is generational. And then new money is like, if I went out and I made a whole bunch of money, then I would be considered new money. And to the people with old money, I would be somebody who doesn't really know how to handle themselves and know how to handle money. I'm just somebody who got some money. These people have all been through generations of having wealth. And so they consider themselves to be more distinct. They're more, elite or whatever. And the people with new money are just like, you just are a freak or something. But I just can't even imagine your new money all comes from being a prostitute. And I think that there has been over time before, for that to be where, like an actor, I don't know why I'm seeing like Debbie Reynolds or something in some old movie, and she goes and is like a song and dance person, makes a lot of money, and then goes to try and live in, nice house and nice neighborhood around these blue blood people, try to go to their social events and stuff like that, and always be looked down on. And that's what it's like, and I don't understand why. So why do you need to make millions sleeping around? And why do you need to, like, if you're sleeping with 150 people a weekend, like, and you've been doing it a few years, like, do you work during the week too? You're 25 years old. Like, do you use condoms all the time? I would imagine. Maybe she's got a hysterectomy. I don't know. The whole thing's so fucking weird. I don't understand. Like I totally understand a woman being desperate and being like, well, we gotta eat, so I'll go out there and sell my body because that's all I got left. But somebody who got tons of money in the bank, and you're meeting some other need, you're doing something else. Like, it's very fetishy too. It's very, and then all this sleeping with people that you have no feelings for. Like, that's not where our society's headed. Our society's leaving that energy. And that's why it's like seeing it popping up and being like, oh, God, we gotta hurry. Because it's nasty. And, and then it's like fucking a vacuum sucking people's kids into it and stuff. So, we gotta move out of it. And then all these, more with them murdering kids. You know what is weird? Like, this is really kind of weird to me out. So the very first night when this, the family annihilation happened over here, and the very first news report, they were like, we can't release any information and all that stuff. But they kept having a picture of a little boy down at the bottom of the screen. So they had like all this split screen, but they kept having this picture and saying, well, we can't release names, and there's been arrest, a 15-year-old boy, and all this stuff. And but it was a dark-skinned boy with an afro. And so I was expecting it to be a dark-skinned family. And then when they started showing more people and they were white, then I was like, okay, so they must have adopted him or something. But no, it wasn't even a dark-skinned kid. Now the pictures they keep showing is a white kid. It's like, why did they show that? Like, this is so weird. God, the news is weird. And so I'm so sick of this shit, man. So the so much manipulation is so much to keep our minds in, like, and so much about division and stuff. Like, I don't know, it's just everything is so frustrating right now. So hold on, I get a drink. So the oh yeah, and the Walmart thing, now they're saying she had to be dead when she was put in there. So now if they're going to be starting some murder investigation or something, there's something definitely weird about that whole Walmart cooking the girl alive thing. And I don't know, like, I don't think she was alive though when she got cooked, but then there's people saying you could hear her screaming, so I don't know. They drugged her, knocked her out, put her in there, but you had to hold the door. And they even showed over there, like, their door was broken. It wouldn't even shut right. So how was she trapped in there? Like, I don't know. We'll see as this thing, all this weird shit, and all these kids with the killer kids thing. That's so weird. And all the parents killing their kids. That's so weird. Horrible ways too. Brutal. Like, god damn, there was one woman who beat her child to death. No, I don't even remember. It was like something. Yeah, parents are losing their minds. Everybody's losing their minds. That's what I was saying. Like, it's got to be everybody's disconnect, because it is very strange. Like, but I do have this concept of this dark and evil battle that we are in, like this spiritual battle. It's like we're in this storm, and in the micro macro, and this storm is going to turn. It's gonna, something's gonna happen. And then and we have all these other storms, and all these places are wiping out. There's all these people watching the hurricanes. There keeps being these hurricanes coming and then not coming, because they keep hearing different names. Because now they're focused on Nadine. So it's like it starts creating one, and then they watch to see if it's going. And this one is going so far, but we'll have to see if it peters out again or something. And that must be where they keep going out with stuff on these planes and dropping them into these storms, because they're trying to feed them and get them going. And maybe it is like that they want this lull, so people, start rebuilding, and they come in and hit it back down. Because even like all these people, if they go take their money and go get a tiny house, and then or whatever, and they're trying to stay on their property, it's just gonna get worse and worse and worse. You thought that flood moved a whole house. What's it gonna do to a tiny house? What's it gonna do to, there's people out there in tents and stuff. And so they're gonna come, another storm is coming. Land's going to change. It's going to go in water. And then over here, like, it's so swampy. When I was over there by Silver Lake, I was like, so if the water is gonna come all the way back here, then yeah, it goes past me. Silver Lake goes past me. So I don't know where the water is gonna go and rise to over here. But it's, I think it's slowly rising already. And it's, and any little thing can set it off. Oh yeah, because the other place where that girl was saying, so she was saying, let me think where she was. Was she in Texas? oh man, I can't remember. But she got a notification on her phone and it said something about flooding. And so she was like, what the hell? So, and it said something about the dam. And so she was like, what in the hell? There's, where she said it wasn't making any sense. So now they're telling us that we're going to have a flood and that we got to be careful of the dam. And so she was like, you know, freaking out. So she drove out to where the dam is and she was showing, but she said she couldn't see on the other side. She can only see on this side and that the dam is shut down. She said it's turned off. And so she's just like, fuck, I don't know what the fuck, man. Is I think, you know, any of us who are paying attention is like, this is what they're going to keep doing to us. And that when those dams went, that was brutal. Like, brutal. Like, the water was so, like, we should never dam up again. The water came in so big and hard, it just moved entire houses. It not just moved them, it just washed them away. And all the people inside of them were all, like, crushed and stuff. So, yeah, we don't want to do the dams anymore, but there's still threats happening all over the place with those and flash floods. And it's supposed to start raining. Yesterday there was a break from the rain, and today it's supposed to start raining again and then just keep raining. But the ground is so wet, there's nowhere for the water to go. It's just like you're walking and swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. It's just so fucking wet. Summer, we didn't even have any summer. Summer's supposed to be like drying out and stuff. No, it's all just wet. I feel like it's just been this shit ass weather for years. Like, even over the summer, I said we had like a couple weeks of summertime, and then it's like over, and then it's just right back into winter. It's not even like spring just becomes like they've got everything so jacked up, the seasons and everything, and it is like, but everything is gonna change because our weather patterns are there's going to be so much that's going to change because there's been so much interference with our cycles and stuff. What was that one too? I just saw something and it was talking about our cycles, keeping us off of our, this weekend is daylight savings time. And there has been this whole thing of talking about daylight savings time for such a long time. And it apparently is part of the manipulation or something to keep us controlled. But so this video that I saw, it was talking about the time zones and the reason why there's time zones, which I've said we are not living like how they say that we're living. We're living like more in realms. The places and spaces that we are in don't look like what we think that they look like. And so like if we were out and we could see, which I don't know, there's so much weird stuff about our travel and stuff, even on the airplanes, and the you know, everything has a certain place, like they're all on roads. They have these certain things they have to fly, and I think it's all off of their little meters. So they have to stay like 28 degrees west, 40 degrees east or whatever. Like they have to mind those, and that keeps them on this zone, this safety route or whatever. But I think it's all like portals and stuff. I think, or trying to keep them out of portals probably, and flying them around portals, because the planes that go in the portals, they all of a sudden disappear and we don't see them anymore. And there's something about that had just come up. I don't remember what it was. Oh, it was over by Bermuda, and I don't know if it's some kind of map or something that they can see, like a whole bunch of planes. So there's a bunch of planes, like, because Bermuda Triangle was where planes were disappearing all the time. But like if they got sucked into a portal, then there would be debris that would go down. But I would think that they would probably still be like on their plane or something, or they would go into, I don't know. It's just going into different realms and stuff is different. But anyways, that's what it's just pockets of these different realms and stuff all around us. And so the airplanes flying, they're still on roads, still restricted areas that they have to fly through. But and it is like if our government had like ley lines, like if they had a map of ley lines or the grid system of the planet, then they would be flying us around that. So, and the reason why when you see spaceships flying in and disappearing and stuff like that, it's like because it's going through these different realms. And so this guy is saying that the time zones were created just to keep us divided from each other, just to keep us out of sync from each other, because that when we all get in sync with each other, that is what is a big issue for these people. That's why that they do this, to keep us out of sync. So they make time zones where it's like night for some people, not night for some people. Like they keep us all separate from each other through that. And then especially when you start thinking about the sun and the moon and this Truman existence that we have, like they have a screen up there or something that they can put pictures in the sky or something, like if they use the firmament like a movie screen or something. And so you know, who knows if there's even light and dark, like just like in the movie, in the Truman Show, when Ed Harris said you know, turn on the sun, or however he said it, but he said to turn on the sun when Truman was missing and they couldn't find him. And that the people were like, what, turn on the sun, it's way too early. And he's like, I don't care, turn it on. So it was the middle of the night and they turned it on, and all of a sudden it was daytime. That, I think, is like where it is that we live. And I think that is why all these things keep being incongruent, inconsistent and stuff. And it's to get us to recognize. That was one thing that I was like, I talked about this a few months ago or years ago or something, because I started noticing it was during the eclipse was when I was really noticing it. Because at first when I noticed it a few times, it was like, huh, that's weird, but then it just kept being more and more and more. And especially on the eclipse, when there were so many people out live filming it, and the places would be so far from each other, and the weather, or the sun thing and the daylight thing, I was like, how could this place and this place be daylight at the same time? That doesn't make any sense. So I did notice that, and I did talk about it, as I was saying, like, it's very strange, is these lives, you think like, well, it shouldn't be daylight there, and they're out there. So I think that is probably one of the things why they don't want us to. In TikTok, people can go live all the time, and I think they don't want us to see places that are far away and stuff, because they're trying to keep us all apart from each other, even apart from, you know, in communities and stuff, keep us all divided away from each other, so that we all feel like we're just alone. We feel alone and frustrated. And but see, all this stuff is done on purpose. So, and that is all this programming, why these people are all so hateful. And these people are, man, the fetishes and the darkness. God damn. There's so much darkness here. So many people just feed off of the darkness. And there's so much hate. And these blue people just do not see how hateful. Oh my God, the amount of videos I've seen of them just so hateful. And it's so weird, is like, because I don't see Donald as being this monster, as like what they try and say. And they think that everybody who is supportive of him is some kind of like, everybody's like some kind of a freak. Like they look at all of the people who support him as just the same way as all the people who support him look at them. And it's very much like, and they think that we just don't see, like we just haven't seen yet. And once we see, then we'll understand. It's like, you guys are not seeing what's going on a whole nother level. There's this other level is this movement towards freedom and sovereignty. There's a reason why the people in that movement are the ones going out against officers and stuff and saying, hey, I don't have to follow these rules. I'm sovereign. Oh, which yesterday I had an epiphany because, I didn't ever do anything about that ticket. It's still hanging on my thing, but the days are way up. I should just take it down. But anyways, how everything worked together, because I hadn't seen it like this before. Because yesterday there was some, like, every time, like, I'll see a car go by that looks like a sheriff car or something, and I think, what if they're coming to evict me? It catch my attention. And so on the let me think of what I was saying. So the cars. Oh, yeah. So when all that went down, okay, so my insurance company skyrocketed. It went up to 100. This is like, I just can't even believe how they can do this shit. But so I had gotten that ticket on the freeway, and it was passing it. The whole thing is so absurd. And so I didn't pay the ticket. And then my insurance decided that they were going to charge me. They were going to drive up the price of my insurance. And so my insurance all of a sudden went up to $150 a month. So I paid that for the first year. I was like, this is some bullshit. And one fucking ticket goes from $100 to $150 a month. Are you fucking kidding me? And then that pissed me off enough. And I knew that this was happening to other people. I knew I wasn't the only one, that they're using any excuse they can to just take from us. And then the next year or whatever, when they said that you have to renew your insurance, it was going up another $50. It was going to $195 a month. And I was like, that is some bullshit. I've got fucking, and it was right when I was having these problems with the car. I'm still paying on the motherfucker. It's got all these issues. And now you're going to make me pay $200 a month for a car that I can't even sell for probably $1,500. Are you fucking kidding me? I was so motherfucking pissed. And I knew that all of the insurance, and then they put us in these traps, like, you have to have insurance. And then it has the car loan on it, and the car loan's not in my name, and the person, they're like, well, you have to have insurance, you have to, they're going to make you. And even when I went for the month that didn't have it, right away the car loan place sent a letter to my mom saying, we're gonna put insurance on it then, and it's gonna be like $500 a month or something. So she told me, and I said, to talk to her insurance guy. And so she talked to him and stuff, and so we got it all worked out and everything. And then so I went on her insurance. And so then right after I went on, the insurance guy calls me, and he goes, did you know your driver's license is expired? And I was like, no, I didn't know that. So that's when I saw that was expired. And so it was a few weeks ago or whatever that I went down there to go get that. And so my epiphany was, because when I went and got that, I put my mom's address on my license. So everything is my mom's address. See what I'm saying? So, one thing if they come here to try and evict me, but I was kind of yesterday having an epiphany. Do I exist? Does anyone know I exist out here? Is this just like in a glitch in the Matrix? Because if they come looking for me, they're going to go over there to her place. And then I'll hear like, oh, did you know you have a warrant out? But from what I could tell on that letter, it wasn't that kind of threat. I could look it up again and see if they've put one out on me. But that's what used to get me all the time when I was a kid. That's why my dad would get so pissed, because I would get tickets all the time and I wouldn't pay him. And then I would get warrants out for my arrest, and I get arrested all the fucking time. And then he needed to pay these huge fees to get me out of jail. And then these huge ticket fees, because they charge so much more on your ticket when you didn't pay for it. And so, that's where it's like, fuck. It's like, oh, this is something from when I was a kid. And yeah, that was something else too. There was another thing from when I was a kid. Like, it's funny because there is like these patterns playing out. And so I, didn't pay it. And to me, it is like, because the whole thing is bullshit. And I want to push more on this sovereignty. And I don't abide by y'all's rules. Your rules are for your citizens that want to abide for them. The rest of us, that when once we claim that we're under God's law, they can't make us be under man's law. So, but the thing is the law, not the lawmakers, the lawmen, the cops, they are crazy. They're just, they're robots. And so they just do what they're told, and they don't know anything about sovereignty and stuff. They just think we're difficult MAGAs or something. Like, they just are ready to go. Like, I couldn't believe in that one woman that got just punched right through her window. Glass just went everywhere. It's like, she's a 66-year-old woman. You're just punching through the window. Like, yeah, it's a fucking, god damn. And then there's another state too, and it's saying all their cops aren't really cops, and they're just people who they haven't gone through any training or any cop training or anything. They're just people who get to go in and tell other people what to do. And so this news report was talking about this and showing it. It was showing these people everywhere they go, they're wearing clothes with badges and stuff like that. So how are we supposed to be able to tell the difference of who's a cop and who's not a real cop? Now, I think this is all part of it, is like, because the cops are their people to run us. It doesn't fucking matter if they put them through school or didn't put them through school. It's all, they hand them a badge and tell them that they can boss us around, and it's bullshit. And these people are so caught up in their own hostility and their own ego, and they think that they can tell us what to do. And what even gets more hypocritical and ironic is that there's so many of these people are out there breaking laws, and then that they can think that they can come and tell us that we can't, but they go out and do it. So it's that's just more of the absurdity. And and then plus those kinds of jobs, those people get paid bank, man. They give, I think that they give like cops $5,000 base salary or something. Then you get, it depends on where and what state and stuff too, and what city and how much money they have. But still, even if you were out here rural, and the cops, they would still be higher paid. They would still have better jobs than the other people out here. So I think it's all by how much ever money in the different places, but they pay those people better, and they give them insurance and all that stuff. So it seems like, man, that's a really great job. But then the job is to go and police the other citizens and put them in trouble for different things. But then they also do these things to direct them against certain people. And so they have an attitude towards so many of us right off, coming out of the gate. They've got an attitude towards people. It's all like their programming is to put them against us all, so that they do look at it as like a hierarchy. They're over us. They're better than us and stuff. And so it comes into this battle, like some of these battles where you see like 7 cops on one fucking homeless guy. It's like, and they think that's okay. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? This guy's such a threat. Like 7 of you guys, like, man, they've done some weird shit. But the cops and stuff, like, there's gonna be cops that are gonna be going down, going down, going down. All these different things. Developers. What was this one? Because I had said about, a long while ago, I've said it several times, there's going to be people look at in the communities, it's like, oh my gosh, they're so cool, they've got so much money, she's got such a good husband, they've got such a good job, their kids are so good, all these different things. And then it's going to come out of this shady shit on how their money, and it's like these immoral people with no integrity, getting money from the system somehow, and it's going to end up being like criminal or something. So there's going to be a lot of people who people like look up to. It's going to be coming out as like, fuck, they're criminals, man. And some of them will be like the woman will go through the humiliation, because she won't realize, like, her husband, like a Bernie Madoff or whatever. And I don't know how much that lady knew. Like, I think you could watch probably a whole bunch of different documentaries, which they still haven't done. I don't think they've released the Menendez yet. And I don't even know if they've even said they're going to yet or whatever. They should release them. Like, I just can't even believe they let Gypsy out. And just the absurdity in all of these different things in our world is just to see, like, the dark and the light. You can see the battle going on. I think it's obvious, this battle of what's between good and evil, but what's wrong and right. What's wrong and right in the world. And so many people all day long, as everybody's like, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is right, this is wrong, this is right, this is wrong. And this other one is making such a big shocker to the world. Like, so many people are talking about this. And to me, I feel like, so many people are so judgmental. Fuck. And that one woman, she was so pissed because these people are ready to call DSHS on these people. And she's like, you know what those people do? And it's like, so you have so many people who are so fucking rude and mean to these people. So this woman who started these videos, I mean, I don't even know how long, because people are saying, like, oh, I've gone back and looked through all their videos. So whatever her video things. So she's a mom who's pregnant. She's got a husband. When they came into the relationship, they each had, I think one of them had 2 kids and one of them 1 kid or something. So they had kids starting, and they've got cats. They live in a 1-bedroom apartment. I think the 1-bedroom apartment looks real nice. It looks like, oh, they're, like they're choosing to not live in the slums with a 3-bedroom apartment. They're choosing to live in a nicer area in a 1-bedroom. So maybe their kids can go to nicer schools or something. I don't know if she's a homeschooler woman. I think she does send her kids to school. But I don't know. So I haven't gone in and, I just keep seeing these things go. And to me, I just keep, as these people are talking smack on them for living in a 1-bedroom apartment with their kids, and they shouldn't be doing that, and they shouldn't have that, and how dare them and stuff. And this woman does these videos of, like, showing what she's cooking for dinner and all that. Like, to a lot of people, it looks like, oh, this family's taken care of. Like, she spends all this time with her kids. Like, her kids don't get to go lock themselves in their bedroom. They're sitting out in the living room all together, having a night together. And it's like, people have become so adapted and like, well, if you don't have a kid locked in their room, not speaking to you, what the hell's wrong with you? And it's like, our society is so fucking backward, man. So so all these people are just throwing hate at this lady because they're living in this 1-bedroom. Oh, how dare you? You should give the bedroom to your kids. Okay, so then me and my husband could be out having sex in the living room and then the kids could walk in at any time. Like, what? Like, so the parents are not allowed to have sex or something anymore? The parents aren't allowed to have privacy when you want to teach your kids, like, that's normal for your parents to have privacy? And I don't know. Again, I think people are so backwards. But the thing that gets me is in how many other countries that people live like this. Like, that was one thing that would freak people out over here. That I would hear, like, in neighborhoods and stuff, like over where I was, the house where I got divorced, where I had my dark night. So across the street from me was a house, next to him was the guy who did the fireworks every fucking weekend. Then the guy across the street from me, I don't even remember the whole story. I think it was a rental. And because all of us that were next to it, we were all like, what the fuck? So it was like a rental of this tiny house. And there was like 20 fucking people living in it. All from some other, I think they were, what is those people called? The tribe, I don't know, not Hawaiian, but one of those tribes were those, like Moana, like these darker, bigger people. But I don't know I can't remember what tribe they're called. But anyways, so it was all these people living in this house. And that is something that is very common that I started noticing like a long time ago when there started being like a whole bunch of Oriental people moving in to places, and it would be like, it would be like 10 people would move into a 1-bedroom apartment, and that's fine, that they can live like that. And then to the rest of us be like, well, how the hell do you live like that? How do you, like, what? Like, we just can't even imagine. Like, we have a bedroom, we can go and slam our door and have privacy. But, they have to all share space. And that is how it is in some of these other countries. Just like I had seen that one fucking documentary, video thing, whatever it was, showing about living over in China in this one, uh, in this big giant building, which Japan and Spain are underwater right now. And this big building, and it was showing about the price of these apartments and stuff. But it's so expensive to live there that people literally live in the hallways in dog crates, and they have to pay to live in the dog crates in the hallway. And so, uh, anyways, that there's places though, like where I was saying, like in India, even where they had made it a whole nother city inside of the city of poor people, of shanty housing and stuff like that. When people live in shanty housing, and it's like you're living in the space of a cardboard box. And they make more things like that, but still, I mean, some of these people are living in something that we would consider like a box, like, this is the size of our bathroom, and you got a family living inside of it. And this is how people have been living for a long time. And then you come over to America and you see some people trying to, live like, well, we can all live like this, in this small place. We have this nice place and stuff. And people like freak out. How dare them? How dare them? It's like, so what are you saying to the rest of the world? That they have no right to, if they're not going to live like you, that they don't have any rights to be living? Like, this is the part of the awakening where people have got to be looking, and they all just jump on board, are just full of hate and judgment. I mean, you got to look at things of more open-minded, outside of the box, and see, like, yeah, well, we were programmed to, get a big house and have extra big old giant garage, 1-car garage. That's not good enough. At this point, if you don't have a 3 or 4-car garage and an RV garage, then what are you doing? Where you at? You loser? It's like, we're programmed into such consumerism. Like, it wasn't enough to have TVs in every room. It became in bathrooms and kitchens and stuff. Like, people can be away from the programs long enough to, they've got to have the programming on at all time, which it is very much a distraction. That is for sure. When I feel like stressed out or overwhelmed, it's like, I just want to go watch a movie. I want to go get lost in a movie. Like, and then every motherfucking movie I turn on is about the shit going on. I just can't even believe it. I cannot believe how many of these fucking movies I turn on is the same shit going on. Like the one, the grave one with the poltergeist things, and about the people buying this land on the cemetery, buying this new development on the cemeteries. And at the same time, you got all these videos of this, what they're doing, and people talking about, oh yeah, they did that to my family 100 years ago. They're all under the water. This has been going on and going on and going on for so long, and we're all catching on and starting to talk about it and stuff. And that's like our, their worst nightmare. But we're already to the point where so many of them have gone down. That's why everything is going, like, where you don't have to be like, oh God, now it's ruined. That comedian ruined it all. He wouldn't have said that. Now she's got all these people. I think it's whatever. It's like, I would say it's like who is that guy? Is it the Pied Piper? The Pied Piper. And he would play his flute, and all of the kids would come out and follow him, and then he would take them into a cave or something. I think he was taking them to their demise or whatever. That is what is happening. Like, she's playing the flute, and the people are following, but they're going to see. They're not going to like where they're going. And something's going to happen to show them. And I don't know. I still don't think she's going to be If they go and say, you know, that she won or whatever, it's going to be to expose all more with the cheating and stuff. Like all the things, everything that keeps happening, you just got to keep noticing what's being exposed. Everything is to expose the next thing, to expose the next thing, to draw in this person, to draw in that person. You know what I think is kind of strange too? So Seth Rogen came out, you know, he's in support of her. All of her people support her. It's like a, a, a freak out invitation list is her friend group. And, but James Franco, him being in the news thing right now and trying to, for us to have sympathy for this fucker. And so, and Seth Rogen won't have anything to do with them. On one of the cases of the people coming out against him, I think it was, Franco was saying it's because of his school, his acting school. And then he was, I don't know, making people have sex with him because he's so cool or something. And so there's people coming out, you know, coercion into sex or whatever his stuff did. Like all these guys that did this kind of shit. Danny Masterson, Ashton, all of them. Some of them have gone to jail because it depends on who you did it to and who comes out against you. But there's nobody's going to get away with it. Like Ashton, I think Ashton's going down now. There's a whole bunch of these people. But so there were this video is like, oh, what's wrong with James? Is he okay? And he's doing some art show, and his art show seems like somebody who's bipolar or something. It just seems like a bunch of, I don't know, maybe it's like when he's been drugged out and he's just crazy drawings or something. I was like, this is a strange art show. And he just seems so sad, and he's trying to talk to Seth, but Seth just won't talk to him anymore. And poor James and stuff. It's like, this guy is a predator, an egotistical predator. He's more of like you know, get a girl alone and, you know, well, I'm James Franco. You know, it's like, you will sleep with me, you know, and you'll be happy because you can tell other people you did. And it's like, not everybody gives a fuck about that dude. And so those are the ones that go to the police and stuff. But it happens to tons and tons of people that don't. Tons. There's so many girls that happened to that didn't say anything, that did just go tell her friends, yeah, I slept with James Franco. I slept with Danny Masterson. But then they get so much more in their ego that then they just push more and more and more. And it's going to blow up in their face. Because, and all these things, like even the girls are just like, sell themselves out. Like, so what did that get you? You slept with him, what did that get you? Did your friends, were they all impressed? Did you get to tell everybody how big his dick was or something? Like, what the hell? Like, what is the big phenomena there? I've never understood that. Not at all. And that's a for sure thing. Because, like, that whole situation when the guy, I was approached for Harrison Ford. I was his exact type. Which I have come to find, yes, I am his exact type. And that... and I was like, no, I'm like, why? So I can go and be like, oh, yeah, I slept with Harrison Ford. Big fucking deal. Big fucking deal. Like, I don't get that. So anyways, it's just the way I look at things. And, you know, I think a lot of these people are going to feel shame, and probably some of them do. And that's why they go and make charges later or something. But all these guys that have been doing this stuff, it's going to blow up in their faces. And I think that there's already been tons and tons of arrests. She's very stiff and very sore, too. And I gave her a big dose of horse paste yesterday. And her vagina just keeps being really stinky. It's got to be just like... Because I squirt water and stuff, and as soon as I squirt water, she just starts licking it. But I don't see anything. That was the one time where I had those sores. I'm going to dump the water again outside. I swear to God. What was that one? Oh, yeah, it was a guy. Now, I don't even know if this is true. But, so he's saying, because he's down in Florida in this, like, swampy kind of area. And he was saying that you guys may not know this, but there's 3 different types of monkeys that live here, that live in America, free, living in the trees out here in these swamps in Florida. And so he was showing the video, like, of the forest and stuff, and being like, you might see one, we'll watch and stuff. But so he was saying that, and I'll tell you something that's weird about it, which I really don't understand, is they've all got herpes. They've all got herpes, and nobody, like, I don't know how are all these monkeys out here? Nobody talks about it, and they've all got herpes. So that was why I was like, I don't know if this guy's making it up, but I do think that there is something with this herpes that is like it's a virus that they are spreading on purpose. And so I was thinking, I wonder if that is what they put in the water. And so apparently, from what it seems, is that we have these certain things inside of us, and all they have to do is trigger that thing to create herpes virus or these different viruses. So they just got to trigger something inside of us to create it. And that is where so many people all of a sudden had herpes. So many people have these different things and stuff, is because they are putting something into the environment to get this to happen to all these people. And then they tell us it's from this other thing. It's from this, it's from that, but it's them. And, but that is what it looked like, that she had something like that. And her thing is always, she just has always loved the water outside, always. And it's a battle, especially when it starts being like they're fucking poisoning this fucking water. And so, but when she was really little, and she went to the vet one time, and she had a bladder infection or something. And they told me that, so wherever, and it's always they blame, she's wrinkly and chunk, like there's a lot of wrinkles and chunkiness on these kind of dogs. And so the place where like the vagina thing is, and then it has this other thing inside of it that I think is where the urine comes out or something. Like, I don't know all the anatomy, but this part right here where this other thing is, where, so if the urine shoots out here, so in here, there's kind of like a cavern. It's kind of like, it's not flat, it's not open, it's like a little, little catch-all or something. So it's coming out, it's not all going out. Some just goes in here. And so they told me that I needed to clean that out because it wasn't going, it was staying in. So that is why I keep trying to and I keep thinking that's got to be it. It's got to be dirty like that, but it definitely has a smell. And, but I give her yogurt, but I am on such a big thing of her trying to get rid of the bugs off of her. And then there just keeps being more and more and more, and to the point where, something's got to give. I think there will be a certain point in time where we no longer will be being poisoned, but there's still be stuff going on. There will still be people having to deal with their own trauma, deal with their own choices, and we will still have the aftermath of all the sicknesses and people having to, it's just going to be this whole way of looking at things differently, or people are going to, when this thing happens, people are going to look at a lot of stuff differently. And so, but there still is going to be things going on the planet, but I don't think that there would be, the difference will be the storms would not be interfered with. Like, I don't think they'll continue to, fly over things and try and drop stuff in it to make it go bigger. So we would still have storms. Like, there's still going to be places that are going to be wiped out. Like, I can't imagine that they're going to get all this stuff done in the next week. All the West Coast is gone. They said this stuff is going to keep happening, but I guess it won't be as much of a drama. Is at some point the lighter side of the earth will be in charge. It won't be all this darkness. And to me, this 4 years is about showing us the dark. It's about the dark coming to the surface and us being able to see, oh, that's dark, oh, that's dark. So it's all of that coming up and us being able to witness. And so that has been this segment of time. We're going into this other segment of time And that is, and it's going to have something to do with this, changing of powers. And so I still think that it's going to be, something's going to go down, and, make her go down, make her fall, something, some kind of thing. I don't know. There's some surprise factor maybe, where all of a sudden it's like nobody's going to, it's for sure she's not going to win or whatever. I don't know, because you still have all these people who, it's weird, who are so supportive of her because they hate him. And so, and it's been showing over the 4 years, that he's done all these things to make all these good changes and stuff, but they still can't see that. So anyways, however it goes, once that they have him in power, then he has already said it's going to go quick. We're going to just do stuff fast. So, and he already had said, I don't know, I think it was 6 months ago, he said we're joining the BRICS. So, and so anyways, that will be, all these things will go quick. The gold thing, the arrest thing. So, and who knows how it's going to go. Like, I mean, they could all of a sudden come on our TVs today and tell us that we're all staying in the houses and we're in the middle of a coup, and anything can happen. We just got to see how it's going to play out, but we're definitely going to get to the light. No matter how much dark we have to battle to get there, we will get to the light. And the light, it keeps showing, and the light is exposing. So just keep remembering, when you hear some of these things that are super outrageous, you just can't even believe it, that it's all about, they're exposing stuff. They're exposing stuff. Everything is being exposed. And there is so much corruption around the money and around resources. And they have been destroying smaller places systematically since the beginning of time. And so, no shade on the Puerto Ricans, but shade on the government that's doing it. And that's what we got to start pointing it out. And we all got to stand up. And I don't understand why these Puerto Ricans aren't standing up and going, yeah, you guys, our government sucks. It's like, no, you got all these people like, it's beautiful here. It's not trashy. It's like, well, I asked Siri. I said, hey, Siri, what's the deal with the garbage in Puerto Rico? And she's like, oh, there's 24 landfills that they don't know what to do with it. They can't figure out how to get rid of the garbage, so the place is just really overrun with garbage because the government doesn't know what to do with it or something. You can go ask her for yourself and go look it up. So, but that's what I have witnessed since any of this stuff, is Donald is always exposing things, and has been throughout this whole time, even all the way back to the time when everybody jumped on that hate him when he was doing that little about that reporter and all the bad stuff that came out on that reporter. And so, yeah, when he's making fun of somebody, it's usually for a good reason. He's not just a mean, cruel person. He's, from people who know him, he's a very nice person, very connected to people, knows your name, knows what your family, knows what's going on in your life. So anyways, but that to me, going up there, to somebody we don't like, that's the same shit we would all do. Like, we don't like somebody and they're saying something, yeah, like, we would all do that. Like, and then they all of a sudden like, God, what an asshole. Well, so we're going to put restrictions, like, he's a politician, he's got a certain behaviors. Well, what about all these motherfuckers? We don't have to have anything with them. Oh, and also McConnell, I guess he fell again. They said he's stepping down. And he's falling on the stage, and they're all rushing over trying to help him. So, yeah, apparently he's stepping down. But all these different ones are going to be stepping down because they're all going to the end of a rope, because they're all in trouble. So, anyways, just remember what you're doing here. You're learning to love yourself, love everyone, even them, and how to have a loving day, because it's totally up to you. So, let's work on it, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.